Okay, so this is coming up more and more with my conversations with business owners, which is me asking them the question, do you have a Panadol or a vitamin? Now, when it comes to your idea, that's a really great way to frame whether people will actually desperately need your solution or whether it would just be like a nice bonus, a nice to have. And the reason you want to ask that question to yourself is because people want to monetize their ideas, right? It's a lot easier to monetize a Panadol solution as opposed to a vitamin solution. Think about the last time you had a headache and what's the first thing that you usually reach for, right? A Panadol, a pain killer. It's literally what it is. Whereas a vitamin, yeah, sure, you might build that into your routine. It might increase your life experience slightly. I remember getting the little Panadol tablets at the bottom of a cereal bowl. So that experience for me was just, okay, it's a nice bonus, a nice to have. People tend to be a lot more likely to pay for painkillers than for vitamins. Now, if you're there and you're thinking, oh, I have no idea if mine's a Panadol or if it's a vitamin, I don't know how to monetize it. The best thing to do is to call your customer or your potential customer and ask them, hey, do you see this as a Panadol or a vitamin? Would you pay for this? And if they say, yes, I would pay for this, why don't you ask for some kind of deposit up front? You could say, hey, I'm doing an early testing round. Would you like to be a part of my beta group? Or would you like to be one of my early adopters? Would really appreciate your feedback. Really, this money that you could pay me to start this is just to justify the time I'm going to spend on it. So I know I'm not building something that no one wants. There's just too many stories, right, of people paying 150K, 200K to build a product, an app with, 12 to 24 months, launch it, and no one wants it. So either ask someone, like one of your customers, if they're willing to put down money for access. The second thing you could do is build a wait list. So you could say, instead of, hey, would you like to put a deposit down? Would you like to join a wait list? And then you could say, if I get to 30 people, if I get to 100 people, I'll launch the app. This is, how Kickstarter has started. These are two options I think people will just overlook because they think, especially in New Zealand, that you need to build a complete, perfect product. And you need to do this big lead up and this big, release coming soon and a big launch. But the truth is, what you should be doing is getting on the phone right now, calling your customer, asking if they actually want the thing, and then building a prototype or an MVP, launching it in 2 weeks. I had a good conversation with my brother recently where he's like, we should even stop using the term MVP or prototype and just say version 1. Because the fact is that the tools that we use every single day to build apps are more than adequate for, like 10,000 users. Like the features themselves are good enough to solve the pain point. And that's the thing. An MVP or a prototype, if built for a vitamin, doesn't quite have the same effect than if you're building that for a Panadol problem or a painkiller. The difference is that if your head's on fire and the only thing you can use is a brick, you're going to use the brick. You're going to use something that's not fully built for purpose, but it does the job. Whereas if, your head's not on fire and I don't know, maybe the only thing you have to brush your hair is a brick, you're not going to use the brick. It's a strange analogy, but I think it gets my point across. Anyway, so the purpose of this video is just to encourage you. If you have an idea, call the person that you want to sell to and ask if they're willing to pay for it, or build a waiting list. Then you'll know if you've got a Panadol or a vitamin.